Welcome to Dakota Growing. I'm Kelsey Deckert, your horticulture agent here in Burleigh County, joined by my co-host in the TV studio down here at Dakota Media Access,
That's right.
Tom Kalb.
Got the big time here on the TV studio. Oh, look at that nice background there.
How about a new change? Nice, huh?
It's good. It's good. Change is good.
That's right.
We're moving up. How about that?
I think it's great.
That's a relief.
How's things been going for you?
Everything's pretty good.
Pretty good?
Yeah. This is a gardening show. I don't have a lot to talk about as far as gardening, like actual gardening, But so it's kind of a slow time as far as that goes. Just busy, like writing reports, documenting everything that we did.
End of the year.
End of the year. And looking back a little bit, that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to look back at 2025 and talk about everything that we learned and experienced.
Even though we're not in winter, I think...
We're not in winter yet.
It sure feels like it though, huh?
Oh,
like
you mean that
Thanksgiving came with the snow. I think we're going to have a snowy season long term.
Yeah, that's really too bad.
It's too bad.
I hate snow.
Well, just say we're going to look back at the year, so I think with the snow it's saying the growing season has officially ended.
Yeah, we definitely got frost. Yeah, that ice storm was, I'm sure our plants didn't appreciate that.
Right.
But either did we, those of us in the car.
No.
Slick. It's going about 10 miles an hour, It's okay. I learned that a long time ago.
Yeah.
That drive slow. It's not of course, you got to wait till you start teaching your kids how to drive. It's a story. So you're like, okay, this isn't a race, and we don't care about anybody else on the road. We're going to get there safely. Doesn't matter if they're 1 minute late. Doesn't matter. Just go slow. Doesn't matter if there's a line of 20 cars behind you honking at you like, move it, kid, Doesn't matter.
Pass on by.
Yeah, go on by. We're just going to go slow but sure.
There you go.
I learned that in Ireland. That's when I went to Ireland. Just a quick story there. Beautiful gardening place. And palm trees in Ireland. Did you know that?
No, I would never have guessed that.
Yeah, there's barely any frost there. Because the Gulf Stream swings up there.
Yeah.
And the roads are so skinny there, man. And the cars are skinny too. And they drive on the other side. They drive on the other side. And so, man, how am I going to make it? You get to, everything's different. Okay, left is right, right is left. Everything. The stick shifts on the other side. It's just wow. I got on the road, and after about driving for 5 minutes, I just had to pull over. I said, oh, my God, I'm going to die here on the road. I can't do this, or I'm going to kill somebody. I don't know. I got to really think about this. Do I got to go on a bus tour? Is that the way I've got to visit Ireland, my heritage? And actually, I kind of did drive in the ditch a little bit, and kind of bent my wheel hub on my rented car, and oh man, I crawled to a golf course that night, and it was maybe one of Donald Trump's ultimate golf courses.
Oh wow!
Because I was just bunk, 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 bunk. My car was I could barely make it anywhere. So they gave me a closet to sleep overnight in, because that's all they had. So I slept in a closet, and then the next morning I went into town, and Michael the mechanic gave me a good lesson. And he said, Tom, let me tell you something. A lot of times people just get out of the airport there in Dublin, and they can die in 5 minutes. There was a Japanese couple last week. They just got on the road, and they died after driving for 5 minutes in Ireland. They just couldn't do it. So he said, doesn't matter what anybody does behind you, just go slow.
You do you, huh?
And that's what I did. I drove so slow, and there was 20 cars behind me. But that was my lesson. That's what I did yesterday. Drove 10 miles an hour on Main Avenue, and I made it.
There you go.
I did not go in a ditch.
Safety first.
So there you go. But then, of course, the best way to be safe is avoid problems.
Stay at home.
So I told my son, Kevin, we're staying home today, buddy. I had to drop off my wife, but
He goes,
Yeah.
woohoo! That's what my kids did. What? A snow day? Well, not a snow day, an ice
he
day.
said,
but...
where were you, Dad? Where were you? I thought, where you're in a ditch or something. No, but we're not going to school today. So he was happy about that. So, anything else you want to talk about with the weather?
No,
It
let's
sure
get
hasn't
started,
been an adventure.
Huh?
Okay, we're going to talk about the year in review.
Yeah, end of the year.
Yeah, here
so
we are at
let's
the end of the year.
talk about
It's
it.
in December, and I think 2025 to me, it's a year that was warm, wet, and wonderful. So that
3
means-
W's.
That's right. It was warm. You know, during the growing season, every month was either normal or warmer than normal. Every
did
month.
not know that.
And do you know, like, September was historic? I'm talking statewide here. It was like historic.
Oh, the warmth.
It
Yeah.
was like the warmest ever September.
Yeah.
And October was super warm too.
October
So
was
it was really
phenomenal.
warm. Flowers having a good time, and so were the bees. Also, it was wet. You know, that's because, you know, like, there was no drought last year. You know, we got a good start in the rain, got a nice spring, and then we had regular rainfall. It was great. You know, the biggest shortcoming about North Dakota gardening is lack of water, and then also, you know, can be cold. But like, this was a warm, relatively wet year.
I was going to say wild weather year.
Yeah, there was some windstorms and stuff too, hailstorms. Wow,
Tornadoes.
Yeah, tornadoes. Wow, right.
Oh.
Yeah, right down the street. Wow, that was exciting. So, I don't know, what are you doing in a tornado? I go out on the porch and I watch for it. How about you? Some people go for shelter.
Yeah, I mean, depending
That's
on.
what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But I've seen so many tornadoes in my life.
It's like, not
that-
going to take me today.
I'm not. I want to see it first, and then it's exciting. It's okay. Now we got to go in the basement.
I'll tell you
It's
what
there.
wasn't excited though about the weather and those tornadoes is a lot of them happen at night. You couldn't see those.
Oh,
That's
if it's
scary.
at night, that is
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, don't you remember
I
that?
thought it was like in the afternoons.
No, we had a lot of evenings that's like they didn't, you know, you'd get a tornado warning and it's like tornado
Oh.
touchdown, but they weren't exactly sure because it's dark.
Like Minokan, that area got
Northwest of Bismarck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got hit. Well, that's life. You know?
Yeah, I thought we were done
That's
talking about the
exciting.
weather, weren't we?
No, we are. Because also the weather is wonderful, and that's because, you know, probably the biggest shortcoming we had this year had to do with the growing season, the length of it. Some people up north, they had a little cold snap in the spring
Yep.
that hurt them, and then a few people, again, scattered in the north, they had like an early frost. But
Right.
a lot of us in Bismarck, Mandan, we had a really late frost, and it was a very warm fall. And so it was just a wonderful long fall season. So that's what I say. It was warm, wet, and a wonderful year. It was a great year. I'm so happy about 2025, and I hope 2026 is just as wonderful. How did our plants respond to this? Man, our lawns were so happy this year. They were just growing gangbusters. And you know, my lawn grew so much, actually my lawnmower broke. It just got too old. It just couldn't do it anymore. You know,
Yeah.
my son,
Well, you got to mow more than
he pushed
every
it.
2 weeks. Especially this
Maybe
year.
it was the height that maybe I was cutting it when it was 2 feet tall. Maybe that was the problem. No, it's just, I try to pace my old mower, but accidentally I overexerted it this year,
Yeah.
and so it died. So, but that's a side story. But the lawns had a great year this
They
year,
did.
and gardens, man, warm, long growing season. God's cubes, even the watermelons ripen this year. Man, I've got reports from all across the state. I work with over 300 gardeners a year. They're all reporting what a wonderful gardening season it was for them. But with the wetness came diseases. And so this is a fungus, one of the most common fungi on tomatoes, and it had a banner year, early blight. But I want to highlight some of with the research I do with our gardeners, some of the varieties that we've discovered that will resist these problems. And so like early blight, very common disease, but over the last 10 years, we've got varieties resistant to early blight. So we almost don't have to worry about it. And Galahad, what a great variety that resists early blight and other diseases too. So look for these quality varieties. Powdery mildew, big problem this year because of all the moisture. But we've got varieties that will resist powdery mildew, and a big new one we discovered this year is called Block Party. It's a butternut squash. Let's see how blocky it is, and so full of flesh there. Delicious. And early and resist powdery mildew. Super productive. Again, the varieties I'm talking about today, among our trials, these are ones that get over 90% recommendations from the gardener. So over 90% of the people who tried Block Party said this is a great variety. So look for varieties that resist powdery mildew. We've got them out there. So this is like, hey, you know what this is, Eva?
Looks like a lettuce.
That's right. It's a kind of crazy lettuce.
It's really a funky looking lettuce.
You know why it's funky? It's going to seed. It's called bolting.
Yeah.
So it starts going upright, and then it goes to seed.
Yeah.
So with the warm weather, we had a problem with lettuce going to seed, but not us. We found varieties that resist bolting, that can take the heat, like Sunland. Look at that romaine lettuce. It was a tremendous performer this year. And our top lettuce this year was a new variety called Gatsby. Man, that was so crisp and delicious. This one got a 96% rating. Just, it doesn't get better than
Top
that.
notch.
Yeah, it's a great variety. And resist bolting. So for lettuce, look for lettuce that resists bolting. Some of our trees and shrubs got diseases too.
Oh, yeah.
This was a new one for me. And I've been around a little bit. I've seen a lot of problems. And this is a lilac that got these little fungal spots, Pseudocercospora. First year I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
How about you?
Well, you know, yeah, it would have been on putting that term with it and stuff. A lot of times we've talked about like lilac blight and stuff hitting.
Bacterial blight.
Yeah, so.
Or a pesticide injury maybe.
But this was seen, oh my gosh, all across Burleigh County. I mean, the central part of the state definitely got hit, but all across the state reports came in on this one.
Yeah. Well, this is pretty bad.
Yeah, trees are dying. They're done for.
But just the leaves, it's these diseases I'm talking about, it's primarily the foliage that's affected, and so they can tolerate it. It's hard to kill lilac. I think the only thing that kills a lilac is a flood. That's the only thing I know that can kill lilac. It's a flood.
Not wrong.
So, anthracnose on ash trees, again, because of the wet spring weather, and this caused some of the fungus get on the young leaves, and some of the leaves will drop. But so, like for a week, we had a bunch of leaves on the sidewalk. But trees have gone through this before, and you know, trees don't even care unless they lose at least 25%. It's just like getting hiccups for a tree. It's nothing. Mm-hmm. They've been through this before, so don't worry about it. You know, you really have to have severe defoliation for 2 or 3 years straight for a tree to be under any type of real stress. Same with, here's some crab apples or apple scab that it's on our apples, and crab apples and pears. And so we saw it was a banner year for that too because of the wet weather. And so again, they shed some leaves early, but it's not a big deal really. They can tolerate this. But one thing we can do, and we talked about this in the fall, was rake up disease leaves and get that fungus out of the area if you can. So it's a little late to be raking now. It's hard to rake in the snow, by the way. But when the snow melts early in spring before the leaves come out, if you haven't already, it would help to rake underneath diseased trees to get that fungus out, or your lilacs, if it's feasible for you. Okay. And the other thing we can do in the winter to minimize disease is to prune the plants. And like I think March, April's the best time. You know, right at the end of the dormant season, but we'll talk about this later in the springtime about how to prune apple trees, but just get rid of those thin shoots that clutter up the tree, those water sprouts. Pruning apples is like 90% mindless. It's so easy. And when you prune the tree, you open the tree up for better air movement and sunlight, so there's less fungus, because fungus likes humidity. So let's think about pruning in March or April. Are you with me on that, Kelsey?
You bet.
Okay, I like that. How about herbicide injury? Got to have herbicide injury, because that's always the number one problem. It's not going away, even though the old Roundup's gone. They'll always find another herbicide to help us. And so you see those curled leaves. So the big picture there is, follow directions carefully on the label. Minimize drift. Avoid using contaminated mulch or contaminated clippings.
Compost,
contaminated compost. So and also, it's okay to have a few dandelions in the yard. It's not a sin. And how about we got to have our emerald ash borer update for 2025? And, we did find emerald ash borer in Lemoore County.
Yep.
At a rest stop in Edgeley there. And, but that's it so far.
Yeah, I think they said just now, kind of from that rest stop, there was some shelter belts.
Yeah.
That they've now discovered it in right outside of that place. That's what I believe.
So stay away from those shelter belts.
Stay away from Lemoore.
Don't go to Edgeley rest stops. Just hold it for another 5 minutes and go somewhere else. But the whole key is it's good that this spread has been limited.
That's right.
And so we don't have to worry about it yet. It's not here yet. It hasn't been detected yet in Bismarck, Mandan. So we don't have to treat yet until it's detected, okay?
That's right. People want to get out and start using the pesticides, preventative.
Because we want to protect your trees. But until the pest has become detected here, you're wasting your money. And so the window is 15 miles. So Edgeley, that's 140 miles about. So it's not, just because it's in Lemoore County doesn't mean we have to be treating our trees here. Okay.
Well, I think both City of Bismarck and Mandan too now the last couple of years has been doing a good job of kind of going around and targeting some of those trees that are not they don't have it, but they are definitely showing signs of decline and stuff, and just saying, let's get rid of those ash trees. They're already stressed. We don't need to bring in extra stress to them or anything. So that's what I've heard from people, is that they've marked out some
because but the problem I don't want to speak for them.
Right.
But some other communities, what they have is they say, oh my God, when that bug comes here, it's going to break our budget.
Yes.
And so we can kind of manage our expenses better by doing some proactive approaches.
Yep.
And if you got a sickly ash to begin with, that doesn't necessarily mean they're more prone to emerald ash borer, because emerald ash borer will go after a healthy tree too.
Right.
So, just because your tree's healthy doesn't mean it's immune. Healthy and sick trees can get emerald ash borer. But I think they're just trying to be proactive with their budgets, and because that borer, it's going to come here eventually. I think so. But of course, we all pray every winter for about minus 30 degrees for a week. Don't you?
No.
You don't do that?
Nope.
You want the borer to come to town, is that right?
I don't want to deal with that kind of weather for a week.
Well, you
I know, there's a pro and con to everything. I'll tell you what.
Don't you have a furnace that works?
The cons of that kind of weather, living out of town with animals.
Oh, you see, I don't have the sheep problems and all those horses.
All those horses.
See, I don't have that problem. So but at least I hope in my neighborhood it's minus 30 for about at least a few days.
Put a bubble
to
over
zap over those darn any type of pest, not just the emerald ash borer. But that, of course, that's not a foolproof too. That's why we got to focus more on make sure we don't move firewood. That's the key thing. We don't want to spread it ourselves, but we just got to keep it's okay to have cold weather in North Dakota as long as it doesn't snow and I drive in a ditch. Okay, last thing, I want to talk about something positive for a change here. We don't get much positive in extension,
Right, you've said it. Nobody calls and says, "Hey Tom, I got a great water belly growing," or
great water.
"I had one of your variety trial tomatoes today on salad, and it was so good."
Let me share some Gatsby with you. Yeah. No, they don't. They say, "What's wrong with my lawn? Why has it got brown spots? Why is my tree dying?" Okay,
that's right.
But I'm going to talk about something positive. And one of the most positive things that people are talking about now are pollinators, right? Yeah. You're into that big time.
Sure.
You are.
Yep.
And so here's a beautiful swallowtail butterfly, one of my favorites.
On a beautiful zinnia, huh?
With the beautiful zinnia. But you see, the one thing about that zinnia, it's not very full of petals. You notice that? It's just like, what we call a single petal type. And but that's good. The butterfly likes that because it likes those little yellow things, anthers, where you can suck out the pollen readily.
Yeah.
So I just want to tell everybody, again, we do variety trials across the state. There's some really great zinnias that pollinators go nuts about. Here's from Bismarck, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, look at that. But you see how it's got those. These are a lot of their single petal types, and this is a combination of what is called lava lamp. Yeah. And south of the border. So there's a lot of affordable, amazing zinnia mixes. And these are getting 90% or higher recommendations. They grow tall, kind of tall, like 4 feet.
Yeah.
They don't get much disease, but they're just pollinator magnets. And seeds are dirt cheap. So I want everybody to know about these affordable, amazing zinnias. And the first is this new group that came out just a couple of years ago called Dessert Menu. And the dessert, these are special color mixes, like berry tart has all kinds of reds in it. Coral red, cherry red. Then there's blueberry cheesecake that has purples and whites. Fruity Beauty, that's my favorite. It's got like orange and lemon and cherry. Really, really bright. Lemon meringue has yellow and white, and strawberry parfait is like pink, red, and white. And there's other mixes too that are really good across North Dakota. Again, these are very affordable. You can put a big grove of these in for minimal cost, and just attract so many pollinators. And you can be like your husband and plant some zinnias. Like people say, they put the zinnias right like in their cucumbers. Right between the rows, and it attracts the honeybees to their cucumber patch. So that's a good strategy there. So Blushing Bright has like pale pink, really beautiful, and I show Lava Lamp, and Merlot Mix has some pinks and purples in there, and south of the border I showed you, and then State Fair has like all colors. That State Fair has been around forever.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so I just want to share that with you. Don't forget about that. I want to be a little positive there. Our most popular flower in our trials was Desert Sun. It just thrived in the heat.
Is this another picture you received?
No, this is a picture out of a seed catalog. And, of course, now's a great time to get to order your seed catalogs. This is from Johnny Selected Seeds in Maine here.
Oh.
Last picture, got to talk just a little bit about the end of 2025 and how that impacts 2026.
Yeah.
What do you think? I think, I hate snow. I don't like this picture really, unless I know I don't have to go anywhere for a few days. But this snow is going to be a blessing for us.
Moisture.
We've got moisture coming in spring. It's going to help insulate the plants, protect them from like early frost damage. Of course, we still want it. We still want cold weather to kill bugs. Still want that. But I'm really positive heading into 2026. I think it's going to be a great year next year.
Yeah.
I'm positive. How about you?
Always positive on the new year.
I like your attitude there.
That's right.
So there's my credits there. Of course, I took a few of these pictures, but most of them come from much better photographers. And that's what I got about 2025.
One question about your zinnias, if you know the variety mix, I used from you had some like almost like lime green. Remember what variety that was? I know I'm putting you on the spot, but that was a really good variety too.
Was it one of these? Lemon meringue has like it has lime green, yellow, and white is lemon meringue.
Maybe that's the one I had then.
Yeah, because there's another group of those are they're like orange. They're orangish. I forgot, but they're double flower types, and those are really expensive. So I don't know how generous I was feeling that day. Whether I want to give you an expensive one or a cheap one. But there's a new group. I forgot what they're called. They're like it's like has an orange rustic color, and there's some lime green and some pinkish lime.
Oh wow!
And orangish lime, and it's the series escapes me, but it's like a rustic looking group, and they're all double zinnias though, and those seeds are really expensive, and they're all double flowers. So if I'm a butterfly, I really don't care about for them that much.
Yeah, they're pale.
But like lemon meringue, that has a single flowers.
That might have been what it was then.
And it's a blend of lime and just like what's that lime pie? Key lime pie.
Key lime. There you go. And,
so that's,
put that one on the dessert menu.
If you like that. Well, anyhow, they have different blends there. That's an interesting thing. It's not just like one. It's not like State Fair's got everything: white, pink, purple, red, everything, yellow, orange. So that's everything. And that has a big flower. They say you win the State Fair with that. But these dessert menu types and these affordable, amazing zinnias, they got a blend of those single petal types. Mm-hmm. And also they got color blends. Like some people really like that berry tart. They say, well, I really like red, and I appreciate that I can have like cherry red, coral red, deep red, and they blend them all together. So these are blends. It's a special thing. And the seed's so cheap, I'm surprised they do so well.
Yeah.
Usually those real expensive ones are, those are the ones that do well. But these surprisingly get 90% rating. So, anyhow, give them a look.
Okay, I'm going to talk today. Christmas is right around the corner.
Okay.
You got all your Christmas shopping done?
I'm almost started, actually. I don't know where you're
almost started, huh? Wow, almost started. That's quite a...
Yeah, I'm kind of late this year because I'm so busy writing my Friday truck report.
Yeah.
But we're going to do that in the next couple days. I got to...
Spend a couple days Christmas shopping?
Yeah. Yes. I got a pretty good connection with Santa Claus. And so...
That's good.
And so, so I got the hotline to the North Pole. So when I'm ready, Santa and the elves, they're waiting for my call.
Yeah.
And how about you? Have you got started?
I've gotten started. I only got very few left to.
Oh really?
Do yet.
This is totally our personality.
Prepper,
everything. Like for me, my presentation, I was working on it this morning. But you were done 2 weeks ago. Probably.
I wasn't actually. I was done yesterday.
But you're always way ahead of me, and I'm always last second. That's just the way it is.
That's all right.
Complimentary.
Well, okay. If you're really struggling, we're gonna talk about some low maintenance plants that you can gift this season.
You mean made out of silk?
No, I didn't go that low maintenance. I actually wanted to go with something that's alive and somebody would have to take care of it.
Okay.
So.
It's novel.
Why? Why gift a plant? We've talked about this when we talk about house plants. Obviously, it adds beauty to your home. We talked about winters can be long. Get some greenery in there. Human nature to be with nature. And I just think sometimes when you...
Cheerful.
When you run out of an idea, like... Man, people love getting a poinsettia or...
Oh, really?
Yeah, or just a little something.
My wife hates poinsettias.
Does she?
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's kind of looks weedy, It's like a weed in her country back in Asia,
yeah.
So that's kind of...
I suppose she had them native there,
yeah,
right?
Those are the real tall ones that are about 10 feet tall. But, I like Christmas cactus. We all like, my wife and I, we really like Christmas or Thanksgiving cactus. And that's a nice one.
Yeah.
And that's pretty easy to... Okay, this is what I say. Poinsettia, okay, that's nice. That's beautiful. But what do you do with it after the holidays?
Toss.
Almost everybody tosses it because, it drops the red bracts and it's so hard to get it to rebloom.
Yeah.
So, out she goes. Christmas cactus? Now that's a plant for generations. And that's kind of hard to kill, too.
Yeah.
But it blooms every year.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything. It just, hey, look at it. Wow, you're blooming.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. I'm happy again. So, I recommend a Christmas cactus.
Okay,
Tom's pick right there.
And I'm not going to talk about our traditional holiday plants today.
Oh, really?
No.
New stuff.
Because, I want to talk about what
low
are
maintenance.
what are characteristics of low maintenance? What do you think? If somebody says, Tom, I want a low maintenance plant,
Wow.
What are you thinking?
Well, you see like in that tall plant you got there, that fiddle leaf
Yeah.
fig, that looks like a silk plant to me, actually.
It probably is in this photo.
To me, that's the first way I would go. I say, you want low maintenance? Go
it's something
silk.
you have to dust once a month.
Just, you put in the shower once a year. That's what I do. So that's the lowest maintenance, and it's okay. They're so realistic looking. I'm okay with that. Otherwise, I'd say, what's a low maintenance plant? Okay, well, of course, the watering is probably the most maintenance.
Right.
So it's got to be able to tolerate me ignoring it, and maybe like a succulent that can tolerate drought a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe one that's can take low light conditions too probably would help.
You're getting them all. Yeah. So this is kind of my characteristic checklist of low maintenance.
Yeah.
Low light. Little watering.
Yep.
They can also handle being root bound.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, I misspelled that. And then no major pest concerns. And the one thing I think you added, long lived. How about that?
Well, that helps your investment.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Not that I'm against poinsettias, because they will live a long time too. You just got to work with them. They're high maintenance.
That's right. Okay, so I'm just going to go through a list of some plants that, kind of meet these characteristics and throw out some additional characteristics of them. And you can add in what you think and your opinion. So right to start, pothos, right? They're very similar to a philodendron. The biggest difference is they have that smooth textured ridge stems. These are trailing. They can be trained. They're going to do very well in that low to moderate light, and they're easy to propagate. I'd say.
Yeah, right. Got one going right now.
Yeah, we have these at the office, and it's like, man, almost every couple weeks you can be cutting off and propagating. They're just crazy. They take off like they're crazy.
They're not that expensive.
No.
So why do you have to propagate your own?
They like to do that.
It's a nice
we got propagation stations in our office.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty serious. You can
That's
start
serious.
a nursery there. One nice thing about there, people might want to know this, is that you see like some people like that marbling color.
Yeah.
Right? You like that stuff? That variegated look?
Yes.
Okay. If you want to have that variegated look, a little more light
helps with it. The solid green will do really well in that low light.
Yeah, that plant will naturally adapt under low light. It'll say, hey man, I got to get some more chlorophyll here. I'm kind of starving. So your pothos will become more green under low light. So if you like the marbling, give it a little bit more light.
A little more light.
Yep.
The one thing to know about this too is it actually, all parts of this is toxic, but not in a lethal way or anything. So like, this is one of those plants.
Don't eat it?
Yeah. Or like if you got cats that are explorers, could upset their tummy. Just throwing that out there.
That's good to know. Don't eat your house plants. I agree with that. Same with poinsettias. They're not toxic, by the way.
Yeah.
But don't eat them.
All right, snake plant.
Mother-in-law's tongue.
That's right.
Looks like mother-in-law's tongue. Does your mother-in-law have a
green tongue?
Bad tongue? She yell at you all the time?
I don't think so. How about yours?
My mother-in-law doesn't speak English, so...
She could be yelling, huh? She Could be saying a lot of things.
Yeah, quick story. We're gonna go overtime today. Sorry. So like, my wife and I, we had our first kid in Taiwan, and like in those days, or in that culture, the mother wants to help, especially the daughter.
Yes.
With the child, and so she will move in with you.
Yep.
For like months.
Even up to a year. I know this because my mom works with a lot of different doctors that have different cultures, and she has talked about that more than once. They have a baby, and guess what? They're uprooting mom and baby and stuff with in-laws for like a year.
Yeah. So I lived with my mother-in-law for several months. I think it was like 4 months for her. And actually, like one of her last days, she was with us. She asked me a question. Like, we're talking about sharp tongues, and she was saying, like, what's wrong with you? Or I don't know what. It was through my wife's translation. Like, say, what's wrong with you, Tom? How come you don't yell at your wife at all? Where's your tongue, Tom? Come on, you gotta have a sharper tongue. And so I said, well, of course, she's not perfect, and so I could yell at her, but like, what about me? Like, I am so imperfect. She could yell at me all constantly. I'm so bad. So I hope mother-in-law liked that answer through the translation. But my mother-in-law never yelled at me. She just yelled at me for not yelling at my wife.
Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Okay. Back to gardening.
Yeah, let's talk about this mother-in-law's tongue. So this one too.
Love it.
Different varieties.
Yeah.
This one also is like a slow growing.
Right.
Can stay in a very like tight spaces and stuff. Yeah. So
beautiful.
being pop bound is not an issue. And like I said, really the only way to kill this plant is by overwatering. It's very tolerant.
Yeah.
So good one. Spider plant. Yeah. It's one of the easiest to grow, and again, very adaptable in our various environmental conditions. Again, this one likes actually to be root bound. I've seen a lot of extension articles talk about how, like, when it is root bound, that's when it gives those little baby spiders off.
Yeah, it's daylight sensitive, and then it will shoot off the babies. So easy to start again. Only problem with spider plants is their tips can get a little brownish, especially on salty. So all you gotta do is trim off the tips to hide the browning. So.
Well, and that one too, a lot of it's like you can, if it's in that direct light, I think it also gets a little bit more of the browning tips as well. But yeah, super easy. This is another one in our office. I mean, baby spiders growing everywhere. The good kind of spiders.
Sounds like you got a jungle there in your office there.
There is. How about the ZZ plant?
I have to say, I never heard of it.
Okay, well, you know what? I didn't put in...
You make it up?
No, I did not. The ZZ does stand for something, and I'm sorry I did not put it in. I kind of thought you would actually know what the pronunciation of it is, so sorry for our audience. They'll have to Google that.
Does it start with a Z?
Yes, it does.
Okay, that's a good start.
So this is one that does very, very well in our low light conditions. Also very tolerant of dry conditions, low humidity. Sounds like my house in the winter. How about yours right there?
Yeah, it's dry. It's dry.
Yeah, very dry. Okay. We run humidifiers.
As long as it's warm.
That's right. This one too, very easy to propagate by the leaf cuttings and even division. So like every few years you can go in and divide this plant, and guess what? You don't even have to go shopping for a plant. You just divide it and re-gift it. How about that?
Sounds good. Sounds like this is like a cheap way to make gifts.
Right. That's right. Like. And then of course I had to put in the heart leaf philodendron. So of course, like you look at this picture, the heart leaf, you can see the heart-shaped leaves. This one, it really just likes to be kept evenly moist. Again, it doesn't need a ton of water or anything like that. Withstands a lot of neglect. This is similar to our Pathos. Man, just takes off. Various colors, patterns, shapes of leaves. You can get this one going in no time. Lots of propagation on that one too. Very popular. I don't know, would you say this one or Pathos is probably the most common you would see as a house plant? I'd say these two are right up there.
Yeah. I would say if you would ask me that 25 years ago, I'd say philodendron. But I would say the people they're more into that marbling kind of look.
Yeah.
So I think the pothos has taken over.
Yeah, I would say those are your top two contenders. The jade tree, I think you have to have this on the list. Again, it's going to grow really well in that restricted space. Very slow growing, likes the warm, dry conditions. Pruning it, can keep it compact and even help it grow vigorously. These can get up to 5 feet tall. And actually, earlier this year, I was helping my brother-in-law and sister move some cattle, and they penned up their bulls at a neighbor's for like a couple days or whatever. I looked in their window. I'm like, this might be one of the largest jade plants I've ever seen, a little jade tree. And I was like...
A tree, huh?
Yeah.
A real tree.
It was probably 3-4 feet tall. I was like, wowza. I wish I would have asked how long she's had that, because I'm like, that's a big one. So, definitely easy. This one a lot of time is used in like, bonsai type settings as well. The money tree, similar. Typically sold with braided trunks. So do you know why it's called the money tree?
Because the flowers look like coins. How about that?
Is that actually?
No, I just made that up.
Okay.
I have no idea.
I was like, okay, this would probably be more of like that Middle Eastern culture and stuff. Yeah. I don't know specifically, but it's supposed to be...
Brings you good luck.
Good luck and prosperity.
Yep.
So, yeah, and this one too, it's going to do really well in a smaller pot. It's going to be a little bit slower growing. I wish I could have found a picture of the braided trunks, just because that looks really neat.
You go to a garden center and find that.
Yeah, they're very easy to find, so maybe if somebody's hard down on their luck, you gift this for Christmas.
You mentioned cats. I think if you want good luck, if you want to give somebody good luck, give them a cat that is, you see these at kind of like some Chinese restaurants.
Oh, yeah.
You see those cats that they move their hand up and down when it's got like a photoreceptor cell.
Yeah.
And then the cat's giving you good luck. So
I
recommend that as a gift. I recommend it as a gift. That's kind of a fun gift. It goes like, it's kind of fun.
I wonder if you had a cat, if it would interact with that.
No.
No? Think you'd be scared?
I don't think a real cat would care that much about it.
Cats, though, house cats can definitely be an issue with plants. Like this time of year with the Christmas trees, they're up there laying in trees and stuff. Yeah, even it was crazy. My daycare lady actually usually does a real tree. And I noticed last week when she had her tree up, I was like, oh, you must have got a new one. And obviously went artificial and stuff. And she goes, yeah, it gets really dry. She goes, well, you can easily tell where her cat Bluey lays. And there's just like this much of a gap.
In the tree?
Yeah, a cat goes up and lays in the tree.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Is that?
Like lions sleep in trees, huh?
Yeah.
Is that right? So that's a cat, too.
I suppose.
It must be part of the cat
culture.
Cat culture.
Yeah, cat. I don't know. No house cats for me, so I don't know enough about that.
Me too. Just silk plants.
Okay, how about the Chinese evergreen? This one, I'll have another slide here just talking about some of these different varieties, but very eye-catching with that varying foliage color. It's very durable. This is one of those, like we talked earlier, solid green varieties will grow well in that low light, where others need more moderate and stuff. You ever have one of these? Or thoughts?
There's, this one thing about common names. There's another Chinese evergreen, Aglonema is the scientific name, Aglonema, something like that. And you see these at like shopping malls and stuff. And with peace lilies too, and it's got a silvery green look to it, and so that's also called Chinese evergreen.
Yeah.
So I've had one of those aglonemas.
I was gonna say these are the varieties. Yep, that I've that are kind of recommended out there. If you're looking for that silver
low
green.
light, that's their thing. But again, I suspect those red, pink, or unique ones need light. They need light.
Moderate,
Good light.
I really like the pink green ones. I think those just pop of color.
Yep.
That's me.
I've never seen one.
Yeah. You could definitely go up to Plant Perfect and find one.
A red, pink, Chinese evergreen.
I would say so.
Okay.
I didn't go the other day.
Who needs it almost looks like a poinsettia right there.
There
It's
you
got
go.
the same color.
Yeah. That color's going to last.
Creative. That's a great idea.
Okay, how about Monstera? Is that how you say that? Did I say that right? Monstera? Yeah. So this one is really known for its unique leaf shape, also known as a Swiss cheese plant. So some of the different varieties actually, like the leaves are full, but then they have holes in them. This one can reach up to 6 to 8 feet tall. This one does want that direct sunlight though, and will not tolerate cold drafts. So that's the only little bit of maintenance on these ones. I feel like you see these a lot of times again, like maybe in like probably more of the artificial ones, but like dentist office, like office settings,
right,
doctor's offices, those kinds of things. And then last but not least, you asked me if I was going to include this one. I sure did. Just wrote an article about kalanchoes. I think these ones are very competitive with a Christmas cactus. You can have, the different scalped leaves on it. They come with a variety of colored flowers. And huge bonus, they bloom up to 8 weeks. So I think this is a really good one to gift. And again, this one will rebloom for you as well. So
it's just like with the Christmas or Thanksgiving cactus, it just sends out the flowers in response to day length. Is that the same with this?
Yep, you bet.
So you don't have to do anything to encourage it to bloom. It just the light, the day length will do it for you.
North Dakota's perfect for it.
Gonna have to try one of those someday.
Yeah, I like the color. I gifted one of these to my mom, and actually it was blooming this spring for her. She sent me a picture because, or I shouldn't say this spring. It actually was this fall. It was already blooming.
Yeah.
She had it at her office, and then actually had like hip surgery, so she was out, and she came back and sends me a picture of it, just full as ever. I said, well, there you go.
There you go. And she thinks about you every time she looks at it.
Maybe. I don't know.
That's another nice thing about giving someone a plant for a gift is that it's a long-lasting gift. It's not. It's not just something that, like compared to even a cut flower. Like a cut flower, you got okay, thanks. It's for 1 week.
That's right.
But these things you got, it's like for years. And every time, like your mom looks at that plant, she goes, I got a wonderful daughter, Kelsey. She's so considerate.
Yeah.
Is that what you think? I'm sure.
There you go. With that, you got anything else to add?
No, I think I added a lot. Too much already.
Added too much.
Too many stories.
Well, I would
today.
Just say.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, man.
Happy Holidays. Enjoy the rest of the year that we have left.
Joy.
That's right.
Yeah, just enjoy the time with your family and friends, and it is a special time. And before you know it, the days will start getting longer, and just get revved up for gardening again.
That's right. That's right. Well, with that, we just want to say thank you for joining us today on Dakota Growing, and I guess we'll see you in the new year.
Yeah, see you next year, Kelsey.
Dakota Growing is a gardening show brought to you by Dakota Media Access and NDSU Extension. We discuss a variety of timely topics pertaining to your landscape, along with giving you tips and advice for your lawn, garden, and trees. If you have questions, call 701-221-6865 or email ndsu.burley.extension@ndsu.com. Dakota Growing airs on Radio Access 102.5 FM, Community Access Channel 12 or 612 HD, or online at freetv.org.